Okay, recording this video after close of trade, Tuesday 24th of April 2012. Well, we held and we closed back up 1370, about 1.2 million contracts traded. It was actually quite good. Means that yesterday's kind of sell-off volume, which is about 1.5 million, was kind of buying the lows, and so a kind of a lowish volume bar kind of on the way up is kind of good. That means that not a lot of people are trying to get out. Didn't realize how much people were waiting for the Apple numbers, because I think that's had a large impact on having a fairly small range day to day and then a explosive bit of activity kind of after the close. But anyway, on the on the daily chart in terms of better sine wave, we're now pullback level has held, so I think we're going to make pullback to end of trend through this sequence. So I think we're going to break into a little bit of an uptrend and kind of test the highs. I don't think it's going to be extremely strong. This is all about kind of testing those highs and seeing whether kind of sellers kind of come back in, but looking for that strength. And if you go down to the 135-minute chart, we've now that bottoms in during the midday here. You can see that was an Emini down bar kind of in the middle of the day, just testing those lows. We got these bullish and bearish divergent signals right on the zero line, right like that. That kind of means we're kind of going to likely break into a trend move. And if you go to the 45-minute chart, you can see again today's activity. So yesterday, bullish divergence kind of comes in. We get another of those bullish bearish divergence signal right on the zero line. The market's trying to decide which way to go. Emini down bars. Testing the lows today, we come straight back up to the resistance point here and poking through it at the end of the day. So I think we're going to go for a little uptrend on the 45-minute chart. So looking for some strength. What is it? End of Tuesday coming into Wednesday. So for the rest of the week, I would have thought we'll have some strength. In terms of better X trend's now kind of held the support levels at 1354, kind of gone for a little bit of a rise up to 75 or so with the Apple numbers kind of coming out. And you can see now on the trend line chart, so we closed back into the zone. Now we're testing back up to the other side of the trend line. So I think we'll kind of poke above that, and the question is that just going to be some kind of area where we kind of lose it a little bit and kind of come back down again? So we'll see. In terms of longer term tip frame charts now, 40,500 tip bar chart, you can see we've kind of broken above resistance here with the Apple numbers kind of coming out and those blue professional bars kind of coming in at the end of the day. So assuming that was kind of buying that kind of range activity that we had today. Go down to the 13,500 tip bar chart. Finally, I was saying on this one it would be unusual that we didn't get an exhaustion selling signal in order to get this thing going, and we got it actually. With this kind of test down in the afternoon, and we kind of risen up to 75, and then 4,500 tip bar chart. So yesterday's activity, we had this complex correction kind of on the way up. We kind of corrected down to a pullback to end of trend sequence here. A bit exhaustion buying up here, but then we got exhaustion selling at the end of the day, kind of coming down here with bullish divergence kind of sets in, and that was those kind of Emini activities kind of testing those lows on that 45-minute chart, and then bang, took off all those blue professional bars at the end of the day in anticipation of kind of good news. So in terms of my trading, a little bit, I suppose, today was just a question of trying to figure out which way I was going to break kind of trend-wise, so had a little bit of trouble doing that. I said yesterday, be careful for exhaustion signals right on the zero on the open here, and then bearish divergence signals that happen right on the open. The professionals are looking for the full liquidity of the market in order to kind of take their position. So just be wary of those if they're kind of pre-open or just on the open. And of course, so I saw those at the open and thought, well, I see some weakness there. So I actually went short initially, got out 1.5 point loss, went long. And then we had all this chop before the consumer confidence and new home sales numbers that came out, and so I exited with a 1/4 point loss. So I was down 1.25, and then we had this beautiful setup here. So if that's not going to work out, and because it's before the beginning of the day, flush pattern kind of comes in, wasn't extreme enough in order to show kind of real sell-off activity. But here we go, Emini down bars. This is just as the or just after the consumer confidence new home sales numbers kind of comes out. Emini down bars, support on 1500 holds. We break above that, bang. I was long at 65.50 into this move, beautiful. And because I was down 1 3/4 points, I moved my target by a point and got 5 points on this move up to 70.50, which was great. And I stopped after that, so 3 trades, 3 1/4 points. I was quite happy with that. We had exhaustion buying, bearish divergence kind of come in, and then a bit of a rush for the doors here with exhaustion selling, and then we tested back up to this level at 71 with Rambo patterns here, and then we did sell off, and the bottom was formed with a nice pullback to end of trend, exhaustion selling kind of down here, and then we raced off from there. There wasn't a first bullish divergence signal similar to that one at this bottom here. It's almost like a spike down, and then this exhaustion buying signal here was people just getting on board a move and getting this thing going. So there we go. I'm actually going to tag on all of those trades, just because sometimes I think I just tag on all the winning trades, and I don't want to give the impression that all my trades are winning trades. Today was a typical day, just trying to find the trend first thing, and if I can jump onto a trade first thing that goes, and the trend direction is right, it works out into one shot, one kill. Otherwise, the market's kind of just trying to find a direction, and I'm often kind of switching my positions until I latch onto that right direction, and that was kind of a typical kind of day, really. Anyway, hope you traded well. Looking forward to tomorrow. Short 64 even. Short 64 even, and reason for getting just an exhaustion selling signal at 500 tip bar chart. It's not quite right. Blue professional bars here. It's just jumping in anticipation of that blue professional bar kind of being broken. It's like an icebreaker trade. So we've got pullback and a downtrend on the 1500 tip bar chart kind of going off. So overnight Rambo patterns into new highs. Blue professional bars at the highs there kind of broke down, but we bounced off kind of the 60s here into a resistance point here. So that's good. Breaking the 63s. So maybe that's kind of just getting this move going. I can see a whole bunch of blue professional bars on the 4500 tip bar chart. Just on the 13,500, that high was marked by a pullback and a downtrend. So just think we got enough to another blue professional bar here. It's hardly selling off quickly, so let's just wait and see. Okay, a minute later. We sold off nicely to 63's Rambo pattern, though here support's kind of coming, just bounced up a little bit into 64.5, but it was amateur up bars coming straight back down. Blue professional bar, let's break the lows of that, show the professionals are kind of selling down that move, and that was just maybe just a little kind of test back up, and then we'll get a continuation of this kind of flowing all the way down. Pull back to end of trend on 1500 tip bar chart. Let's keep going. Need to break to 63. Well, we didn't break to 63, it just got caught there. We just got slammed back up to 65.5, but all amateur up bars here. Looks like a double top kind of forming, so we're coming all the way back down to 64. Look at this, unbelievable. It's like, how can you trade this thing with like 2-point stops? It's impossible. So here we go, back down, right back down. This I'm not so worried about, because we've just kind of got a vacuum on the tape because of that move driving all that volume out. So that's an amateur bar. Less worried about that, but we need to continue down to 63s. So there we go. We broke to 63. Blue professional bar came and spiked it all the way back up again. I was hoping that was falling through the ice and would just kind of continue to 63. But no, playing games here back up to this 65 level. Bearish divergence coming on the 1500 tip bar chart. Taking a little bit of heat, just conscious we've got, okay, that whole thing was blue professional up bar, just conscious we've got these two support levels kind of coming in together, so just got to watch this really closely. 65.50, lost 1.5 on that. Might have to re-enter, but just it's not playing out exactly as I thought. So the support level end of trend kind of came in here on the 1500 tip bar chart. We got this one kind of coming in here. Thought initially that was just a spike up blue professional bar. If we'd immediately broken the lows there, that would have been better when we just kind of sold off like we are here. But let me just keep on watching it. Might want to re-enter short again. Long 64.75. Long 64.75. Just checking my stops and targets. Reason for getting in, so we've got supports on all three time frames. Pullback and uptrend on the 45, end of trend's gone off. Okay, we just had a resistance level kind of coming on 15, but the end of trend kind of went off here. Support, it was amateur down bars into support. Bullish divergence kind of goes off. Come on, we need to kind of get above 65, 65.5 and kind of go for a bit of a trend move. So a little bit kind of confusing with this kind of activity on the 1500 tip bar chart. It's kind of in the wrong place for a reversal. You see that kind of as a topping out, but it's because we had no kind of much volume over the pre-open kind of session. So come on, yep, here we go. We're just winding up, ready for a breakout above 65.5. Okay, just moving my target out to 69.75. Want to recapture some of that first trade loss, and 69.75, 69.25 I think was that previous high here. So we're breaking above resistance here on 1500 and 500. If this kind of works, we'll go to a pullback to end of trend sequence on the 500. It'll line up with pullback to end of trend here. Just punching above that previous high would be nice, but we've got 9 AM, we've got consumer confidence, new home sales kind of coming out. No blue professional bars kind of coming yet, the highs here, and we're above these resistance levels here. So hopefully, this is kind of confirming it's an uptrend, and all these levels are very positive on better momentum. So they're kind of bearish divergence, but okay, it's closer to zero line. Maybe we need to test back down just to get some energy to kind of take it on. So. Well, we just had quite a lot of sustained selling here, quite big readings down, but then we kind of come back up. Blue professional bar just come up to 66. Flush pattern here kind of supporting this, although if we break the blue professional bar that won't be good. We've got 5 minutes to go for the data releases, and just, this didn't hold. About 64.50. Quarter point loss. So it's kind of coming back up, but we've got this data release in a second, and it wasn't right. We should have just kind of kept on powering through. So flush signal on 1500 maybe looked kind of good. Let's just wait for the data release to come out. 50, long 65.50. And a little bit of a gamble here because we've got the data release in about a minute, but we've got amateur down bars into cyclical support here. This number just must have come out. So a little bit of a spike down. Here we go. Good. So support will come in here. Spike down Rambo patterns here. We've still got a little bit of time to run pullback to end of trend on 4500 tip bar chart. It's breaking up to 66s. Let's get this thing going above 66.5. Just see where this goes. Kind of pretty weak on better momentum here, so we've already had this flush in. Just wonder if people are just turning around at that. Okay, resistance coming on the 500 tip bar chart, but blue professional bar here at the highs, could be jumping the creek, kind of getting through 66.25 here. So come on, let's just got this support behind us, and those amateur down bars testing into this, but no blue professional bars really since those early ones at the beginning of the day. Here we go, 66s, good. So we're breaking our highs, keep on going, and that'll be into a trend move above 66. Keep going. Here we go, another blue professional bar. We got a pop here because we've been exhaustion selling here, bullish divergence, flush patterns, Rambo patterns, really weak selling at this point. For this thing to max out, we've got to see an exhaustion buying pattern at least on the 500. So this is a little bit of a gathering underneath resistance here. Blue professional bars jumping the creek. So we'll get above this. Come on, another blue professional bar. Just holding it back maybe until they've bought everything they want. Then we'll go into pullback to end of trend. We'll max out with this hopefully. Come on, break above it. Here we go, another blue professional bar. There we go, bang. Stops to run between here and 67 and a bit. Let's keep going now, new highs. So target's sitting at 69.50 at the moment, but it's down 1 3/4 after those first two trades, so let's get this thing going. Alright, just moving out my target to 70.50. Just try and make back a little bit more. Exhaustion buying coming on the 500 tip bar chart, getting this thing going. 68s and 5,000 on better momentum, so we'll have a resistance kind of point kind of coming at some point here, but here we go. Here we go. So 7,000. This has got to play out to pull back to end of trend, so just got to keep on holding through to 70.5. Okay, we're at 69.5 blue professional bar coming on 1500 tip bar chart, 10,000 on better momentum, so we'll have a pro signal asset. I just need it to go to 70.5. The initial target 69.50 just gone through. So come on, keep going on this push. Just taken out 70.50. Excellent, quite happy to get out there. Pro signal exit's just gone off on the 1500 tip bar chart. It's pretty elevated, bearish divergence kind of coming in here, so we'll lose a little bit and then kind of pull back to end of trend. We'll put in the 500 tip bar chart, but quite happy with that. So 70.50 on that trade's 5 points, but I've got 1 3/4 loss with the first 2 trades. That's put me at 3 1/4. For 3 trades, and I'm going to stop there. So it's 9:06 a.m. That's fine. Don't know, maybe I shouldn't have gone for that first. Don't know. I have to look at my signals whether any of those trades shouldn't have taken in the first place. But 70.50 is a nice place to get out. Good. Just watch it for a bit longer, see where it goes to. Pull back to end of trend, but there we go.